back. So let's do a little chit chat. Today I'm loving my hair, so sorry. Y'all know I'm gonna touch it, y'all know I'm gonna play with it. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about main character energy, because I've been seeing this term go around and I think it is a perfect description on taking over your life and controlling your narrative. And you know, I always say control your own narrative. That's what we're doing over here. We're doing self-development. We're trying to get to our higher selves, our dream selves. I don't like using the term dream self because that insinuates that a dream is not really reality, right? So when you say your dream self, that's something that you idolize to be, but might not ever get there. And you can become your higher self. And that's how manifestation is. When you see something, when you manifest something, when you envision something, it is already yours. So if you have ever envisioned yourself in a higher light, whether that's more spiritual, your mindset, maybe your weight goals, maybe career goals, if you have ever pictured yourself with something, then it is attainable, it is possible, because that's manifestation. But when it comes to main character energy, I think that this topic is so beautiful, because the more I think people develop this idea of themselves as the main character, the more you will start to enjoy your life, the more you will have control over your life, the more you will enjoy the little things, the big things, and you will recognize your presence here is far greater than you've probably realized. And so I get a lot of questions from my friends, from my family, from my team, that how did I get to this point? How did I adapt this mindset? How did I start living this main character life, right? And it's so hard to put into words sometimes. So forgive me if I'm all over the place, y'all, because it's hard to explain without just dropping little bits and pieces, you know? So I think the first thing that comes to mind when I think about how did I grow into this main character in my story is to realize your perception is always from your view, right? So like when you're watching a movie, there's always a main character, and most of the time the camera angles is like from their eyes. So just like a regular human like us, we have our perceptions where we just look down and we see ourselves. And if you start to think of life and being here as a movie, and that you are the main character, you can start to actually, instead of just be in the movie, to actually control the movie, to actually like write the script, to actually, and then play in it at the same time. And I don't know if I want to think or call life a game, but sometimes I do feel like a simulation. I don't want to get weird, but you get what I'm saying, because it's like we still don't know what all of this is. We don't know the purpose. We don't know why we're here, and yet we're here. And so there, in a lot of people's minds, there has to be a greater purpose, right? And so when you break it down, and if you think of a game, you never play a game to lose. I don't know who plays a game to lose, right? No, you play the game to win. So when adapting this idea of being the main character, you're adapting this winning spirit, that you're going to not just take what is given to you and just have to deal with it. You're going to actually control your circumstances and live to the best way you can, and be the best version of yourself, and win the game at the end, to enjoy the game, right? And The first thing I want to say that I literally had to stop doing is comparing myself. And that is such a hard thing to do, especially with social media, especially with everybody becoming an entrepreneur and living their lives and doing this and doing that and having kids and getting married and all of these societal layers that we already have, that, you know, by a certain age we should be doing this, by a certain age we should be doing that. And so because now we have more exposure because of social media to everyone's lives, the more comparison comes in. And when you realize that everyone is the main character of their own story, then comparison does not exist. Because I'm not the main character in your story. So it doesn't matter what's going on with you. Like, it really doesn't. And even if some of those things or those qualities that I admire in you does not make me less or does not take away from my story. So I think we look at comparison the wrong way. I don't think we should look at comparison as if, well, this person has this, so I'm never going to get that. But in reality, that person to me is live manifestation, because something that happened to them they thought about, right? Let's say they went on this beautiful trip to Bali. They probably thought about it first. They thought about it, then they planned it, then they made it happen, then they posted it on social media. So now for me, if I'm looking at their page and I'm comparing myself to, oh man, they went on this amazing trip and blah, blah, blah. How did they do that? In reality, that's like, hey, if they were able to do that and bring that to life, then it's possible for me too, because there is no limitations in this universe. So it's not something that should be a negative thing. I think other people's successes or failures should be a way for us to see that these things are real, these things can happen. And if they are something you aspire to or you want, you can have it too. I used to do that a lot with views, especially when I was starting my channel, and sometimes even now, but I catch myself where I see somebody with a certain amount of views or a certain amount of likes, and it's just like, okay, like, they got that, so can I. Like, it's not like, it's just not for me. It's, oh, it's only for them, you know. So I think we need to stop putting other people as the main characters in our own lives and forgetting that we have a life too. We have an existence. We have a presence that is just as important, that is just as beautiful. And once you start to not live your life just going with the motions and living your life with purpose, and that doesn't have to mean that you're going for anything or you're aspiring for anything career-wise. Purpose can be you living the happiest life that you want, whether that is going to college, whether that's not going to college, whether that's getting married, whether that's not getting married, whether that's having kids, whether that's not having kids. Especially in the US, and I can't speak for a lot of other countries, but there are so many like check boxes that we have to check off that proves that we are doing life right. And I think it's bullshit, to be honest, because what does Sari May's life have to do with me? Nothing. I think we have too many opinions on how people live their lives, and that definitely makes it hard for us to understand we are the main character, because there's so much outside noise as to what we're doing and how we're doing it. And to me, my goal is to meet up with the higher self. My goal is to not only see these visions in my head, but live these visions. That's my goal. I was a part of that living for everyone else, setting standards, setting goals that I thought were mine that weren't even mine. And that's nobody's fault, especially, you know, with family traditions and things like that. Sometimes things just get passed down to us that we adapt or we take on as our own, and it's something that we don't even really believe in or care about, or but I think that takes a lot of understanding and learning about yourself. And really, sorry, they want to do yard work, they want to be involved. I think that really takes a lot of taking off the blindfold and not going through life just because of what you've been taught, and actually sitting down, what do I like? What makes me happy? What do I care about? What don't I really care about? And being okay with those decisions. I think that is the biggest thing, where you are okay with how you want to live your life. You're okay with who you want in your life. You're okay with removing people from your life. Whereas though we're able to remove people without fear. Holding on to certain people, relationships, situations, they keep us in this box and they don't allow us to grow, evolve, and we feel like we're trapped, but we're not trapped. We're trapped in our own minds, and we're giving our story to someone else to write. We're allowing other people to dictate what happens next. And so by taking that back and taking the fear out of it, fear is something that keeps us in a box. I mean, when you are so fearful to do something, you will be complacent and you won't reach your higher self. So I think the two things that I definitely want you guys to take into consideration is living without fear and to stop comparing. Get lost in your own reality. Get lost in your own life. Really love yourself. And if you want to consider, you know, life as a movie, then fall in love with knowing that you are that main character instead of someone else. Instead of looking at someone else that you aspire to, or watching their life and watching their story, put yourself in that place. Even if it's not who you are right now, even if it's someone that you want to be, put that higher self, that best version of yourself as the story, and now you fall in love and watch that. And I'm telling you, it will make a world of a difference. I have really adapted this within the past year, and I have just seen myself grow, even in, you know, this business that I'm doing now. I always looked up to other people and looked at their story and their journeys, and it made me non-existent. And that's not fair to me, because I am just as worthy as anyone else here. And so when I started to fall in love with where I was going and who I am and the great things that are destined for me, that's when I started meeting up with those things, and those things started aligning, and everything that I was manifesting started coming true, and I was seeing before my eyes. So I know it's hard, especially with social media, but I promise you, if you start to just know, you have to know what you want, know who you want to be, know how you want to live, and then start making those changes. And not that no one else matters in this world. Of course, your friends, your family, people matter. But if you were to recognize you matter just as much as how you make sure they matter, I guarantee you your life will start to change. So try it. Start to live without fear. Start to go after those goals. Start to make those changes and fall in love with you. That's really the gist of being the main character, is romanticizing your life, looking at a movie and knowing that you are that main character that is going to come out in the end, whatever the ending is going to be, and being okay with how that looks like, because everyone is individual. What your idea of your happy ending is might be totally different from mine, but they are both still valid, knowing that you are still valid even if you are different from the masses. And yeah, I mean, this video was not a structured video at all. This was not no tips. It was just me talking about things that are really going on for me right now. Things that are in real time happening for me right now. And as these things come up and as I learn, you know, I'm always going to share with you guys. And so I just realized that, damn, like, I've really been fucking living. Like, and it's only because I've really now adapted, like, this is my shit, and I'm having fun, and I'm living my life, and I'm doing what makes me happy, and I'm going for a greater purpose, and I am not aspiring to be anyone else but the person I see. That person motivates me, and I know that that is me, though. Like, it's me and it's not me at the same time, but the journey to get there is a beautiful one. So I encourage you guys to start being the main character in your life, to recognize that you matter, your presence matters, your existence is important, your ideas, your creativity, your everything about you matters, and we are all main characters in our own stories. So if you have been going through your own, you know, self-realization, personal development, just start some comments, start some dialogue in the comments below. I want to get you guys more interactive in the comments and just sharing more, because we can learn from everyone. And I'm not an expert, but you know, I'm really passionate about these topics. So anything that goes on personal, I'm sharing it with y'all. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video spoke to somebody out there who is not feeling good about their circumstances or their life right now and just needed some inspiration. And I hope that did that for you. So thank you again for watching. I will see you in my next one. Peace.